You do not fact check them. You do not do nothing. Like, for an example, if I want to become a doctor, I think the only doctor is Dr. Sebi. If I want to become a doctor, that doctor, becoming a doctor in America is not going to teach me to become a doctor, an actual doctor. Only thing it's going to teach me is to regurgitate and get a certificate to work in certain places like a hospital and practice stuff that only practices treating. Medicine in America, they don't cure anything. Only thing it does is treats things. It don't cure shit. So what are you doctoring of?
Two things. One, an economy existed. Several economies existed before capitalism. You cannot have a civilization. You cannot be a part of a structured society without an economy, and it doesn't look like paper money. So that in and of itself kills a lot of your argument. But number two, the people who don't understand history, when people like me bring up things in the past, when Pearl brings up things of the past, when all of us talk about past events, a lot of people, especially like slavery, you want to bring stuff up about our oppression and all of that. We're bringing up specific events because they matter. People always want to put us down for bringing up history, saying that we're playing the victim. And unfortunately, people like that are going to be doomed to repeat history over and over and over. You will die repeating history and never have made a change because you do not understand the value of history. Men understand that athletes, to improve performance, will go back and look at past games so that they can see where they went wrong. They want to understand the things. This is what AI says: analyzing past game film to identify technical mistakes, study opponent tendencies, and refine strategies in practice. That is what history does. History is the games that were played in the past. And if you learn it and you study it, you can understand where your people went wrong, and you can understand the opponent's strategy against you, and you can probably beat them. But you all are going to be doomed to keep repeating the things that people did in the past because what's that going to do? It happened. Now what? Now you study it and you don't repeat it because you all keep doing it over and over and over again. And good luck. Listen, I'm just going to ride this joint out. I'm 45. I ain't got that long. I'll be all right.
No, history is his story, is what he decided to tell and how he want to tell it. Nobody that's ruling going to tell how they lost. I don't hear nobody telling how they lost.
They already gave you like 17 minutes of almost uninterrupted. So just you guys know I'm a logic argument, right? You know, I might have been a nerd in high school, won debate, a state championship debate at time or 10. I just want to point out that everything Jay Prince has said is just an argument based on his own ignorance. Just because I don't have proof of it means that it's not real. Anytime that you argue with someone who thinks that way, they have a level of intransigence that you will never ever beat. There's nothing you can do to overcome it because no matter how much information you give them, what facts you give them, they do not have the ability to have their minds change. For example, we can all tell him that fire is hot, and if you touch a hot stove, it'll burn you. But since he's never touched the hot stove, he's going to say that we're lying. Even though we all know that if you touch a hot stove, it'll burn the shit out of you. One of the things that we have to realize is that, when you listen to people talk long enough, you can easily highlight the hypocrisy in the argument. He says that people in my position or Truth's position, we're butlers to white men. Well, if we're butlers to white men, with you being on government assistance, that would make you the whore of white men, because you're the one breastfeeding off of white man's dick, because they are paying for you to survive, because you as a man can't afford to live a lifestyle where you don't have to have other people take care of you. But us as butlers, we're the butlers because typically a butler takes care of a home, it takes care of a family, or it takes care of people. If that's the case, then according to your own logic, you are doing everything that you said that we're doing. You talked about saying that we have these white centric, we're doing what white men do. When again, if it wasn't for white men, you wouldn't survive. Your survival, your very existence is tied to what happens to white men. The white men that put power in, the people like True who pay taxes so that you can afford to live. And then you said, hey, well, I bought this Godfather shirt because it matches my shoes. Who told you that your shoes have to match like that? Because in Africa, that's not how they dress. You dress like a white man. You dress like the people because they taught us, they gave us clothes, right, as slaves. So you're doing the exact same thing. So it seems as if the person who really glorifies white men is you because you want to take their blueprint and then have a black man do it. However, unfortunately, it's just talk because you have no power to do anything. You said that True has no power. True can affect more change by opening his smartphone than you can with all the influence in your neighborhood and with another 1,000 people who think like you. It's because of his mindset. He has a mindset that's going to be able to get other people on board with it because, one, he actually can support what he's saying with facts and not just personal opinion, bias, and conjecture. You told us that you've been to Cairo and you've seen the pyramids, correct? Like that was, you made that claim, you've seen the pyramids. The crazy part is that when people start talking about, oh, I've been to Egypt, I've been here to do this, one of the things that I know that you probably weren't able to do was you probably weren't able to go inside the pyramids because, one, those tours are expensive, and two, there's a 2-year wait list to get into most of them. So for those of us that have, I've actually been inside there. I've actually seen there. I've been to Central Park. I've actually been to Lake Lanier, and I understand what happened there. And not just because, you don't swim in the lake because they say it's haunted because all the dead bodies and stuff. Not because of that. Because the U.S. Army has done surveys for every parcel of that land. And once they started doing those again here recently, you can still see where the structure stuff, where that stuff in the structure of those buildings, houses, and the city was. So the thing is, like, because you don't believe it because you haven't seen it, well, you won't see a lot with your mindset because your mindset isn't open to seeing things. You don't want to see anybody else's opinion. You don't want to see anybody else's point of view. And then more importantly, you think that what you have going is like the best thing that could be. Your logic has you in a position where you are literally the guy who is 5'2" talking about, I hate basketball players. I hate tall people because they can play basketball. Like your mindset right now is the guy who has one leg that says, you know what, man, fuck soccer players because I can't play soccer. That's the only reason why you can points.
Where's the time clock?
Well, I mean, not trying to be funny, but you ask for a time clock is like a fat bitch asking for a salad. You can't do that.
Yeah, so, but every time I get ready to rebut, I get a time clock.
Well, I think I was still under 2 minutes.
I want to address some of your points. You
the thing is, you've already addressed them by presenting the points to us to be addressed. Like the way that you attack Miss Pearl for no reason, and it's all because, again, I get it. It's the same argument based on your ignorance. You don't know what a good woman looks like. I get that. So that's why you didn't recognize when we were talking to Miss Pearl.
How do you know Miss Pearl is a good woman?
You talk because of how she.
How do you know she's a good woman?
I'll tell you how I can make that educated assumption. The way that she conducts herself, the way that she presents herself to the world, and what she puts out into the world from what I've seen of her. So
yeah, you gonna get cheated on all the time. So here's the thing.
I'm not dating Miss Pearl, and the thing is,
wait, bro, you just went. I'm trying to address some of your stuff. One with the welfare. I had paid into the system, so I'm getting my money back. Right. I paid into it, right? They took taxes, and instead of y'all being okay with paying taxes, paying for shit that y'all don't want, I decided to I said, fuck that. I'm forgetting some of my money back before I die, right? Instead of having to retire when I got dementia at 65 years old and can't even enjoy my money because I'm mentally insane at that point. That's one. Secondly, you have mentioned some about when it comes to history, like debating and stuff like that. Yeah, so at one, y'all want to cherry pick. If I come up here and I lie, right, and you know I'm lying, you're not going to believe shit else come out of my mouth. But I have not done nothing to y'all in a degree that white people have did, but yeah, you give them all of the credibility. That's why this is just a retort. Why would you give the white man all of that type of credibility, right? Because when I think about education here in America, it's based on the colonizers' point of view in their perspective. They narrating everything. So
Can I
I'm
interject,
not
right?
wrong.
So we don't
I'm not,
forget the point.
hold on, bro. I'm not wrong for critiquing everything. So we acknowledge that white people have lied, but they have not told you what story that they lied about.
Just let me
So
interject before you forget your point.
so I'm not wrong to say, white man, white woman, you are a liar. So let me. I want to second guess everything that come out your mouth. I don't care. We talk about the sky. They told us that they walked on the moon. They told us Jesus existed. They have lied about so much. So am I wrong if I say, because it seems like it's okay to do that to black people when black people tell a lie or black people telling the truth? Y'all still be extra critical. You have not criticized no white people of nothing they have told you. You know what you did? You believed it. Why? Because you've been believing them and they've been telling you shit ever since you was in K5. Right? They have been your teacher, indoctrinating you with shit. And this is why every time a white man come out with education, you believe it. You do not fact check them. You do not do nothing. Like, for an example, if I want to become a doctor, I think the only doctor is Dr. Sebi. If I want to become a doctor, that doctor, becoming a doctor in America is not going to teach me to become a doctor, an actual doctor. Only thing it's going to teach me is to regurgitate and get a certificate to work in certain places like a hospital and practice stuff that there's only practice is treating. Medicine in America, they don't cure anything. Only thing it does is treats things. It don't cure shit. So what are you doctoring of? Like, so this is why when you put the white man on the pedestal, because you like to say y'all putting white people on the pedestal and y'all seem to think their institution is the correctable institution. The only thing I'm doing, I'm critiquing, I'm making them validate and substantiate everything they have said because they have been known to lie. So I'm not wrong for asking you to substantiate your claim. You asking me to do it, why you didn't ask the people that the white man? You know why? Because if you
How do you
start
know
asking
that we
white
didn't
man,
ask anybody to substantiate it?
I'm gonna land it with this. If you ask the white man to substantiate everything they have told you, guess what that's gonna make you feel? It's gonna make you feel stupid because everything you have been taught since you was in elementary school, you're gonna realize you don't know shit and you are stupid.